Okay, in this video I'm going to show another option for um, giving credit where credit is due in MLA format and using source information and making sure that you cite it correctly. Option one before was paraphrasing everything that you possibly could and then putting your citation at the end of the sentence. Um, Option number two is to combine paraphrasing, which means putting things into your own words, along with direct quotation. And for my illustration, I'm going to go back to the exact same quote that I used before, but now we're going to use a different technique to show those options. So this is an article that I'm using. The actual citation for the article is shown here in correct MLA format. But when I go back to the article, I'm going to read, today's food grown in depleted soils contains significantly lower levels of nutrients than in earlier generations, while our air is more polluted and stress levels are higher. I think I'll probably just stick with that one. So what I'm going to do is, instead of just paraphrasing the whole thing, I'm going to paraphrase part of it and I'm going to quote part of it. Um, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to type into my own words, and I always like to introduce with my own words any quote that I'm going to use. That's a good style guide to follow, a good rule to follow regardless of what you're doing. So today's food grown in depleted soils contains significantly lower levels of nutrients than in earlier generations, while the air is more polluted and stress levels are higher. I'm going to start with my own words. Food that is produced nowadays faces stresses and challenges. Um, and then we can go comma, or we can integrate it clearly into faces stresses and challenges such as, let me see if this works, such as containing significantly lower levels of nutrients, and I'm just going to go back, as well as so I'm looking at this. Food that is produced nowadays faces stresses and challenges such as containing significantly lower levels of nutrients and stresses from um, air and water pollution. Now, what I have here then, and I'm going to undo the formatting here. Just bear with me. What I have is this in the front is mostly my own paraphrasing of what I read, except for this was directly from the article itself. And then this was me paraphrasing again. Now what I need to do then at the end of the sentence, and I'm pretending that this is the print option. So with the print option, I got to look at what page number it is, and I see that the page number listed is 28. I'm going to have to put the author's last name, comma, 28, close the parenthesis, and period. Okay? The exact same scenario then can take place if I use, and I do have the digital option of this article, so here it is. If this were just the digital option itself without without any of the without using the print version, the only difference would be that I would put in the author's last name, close parenthesis, and period. One formatting thing too is, let's say I only, and I should say as well as, I didn't type every word that I was thinking at the time. Let's say I ended the sentence though right here anyway. Let's say I ended what I was going to use for my research paper at that point, and I'm going to put it down here. Food that is produced nowadays faces stresses and challenges such as containing, quote, significantly lower levels of nutrients. If I ended the sentence there and I had the quote there, the quotation mark still falls there, and then I would put the citation. And if it was the printed version, I would put that. If it's the digital version, I would put that. In either case, the quotation mark falls right here, the citation falls right there, and then the period closes out after the actual quotation itself in the parentheses. So this is option number 2, and option number 2 is to combine paraphrasing with direct quotation.